Sometimes good news. We don't talk to Bloomberg Intelligence. They're in a hermetically sealed building over on Park Avenue. But when we do, we finally get announcements, and they came over Morse code here a number of months ago. Herman Shan to take over for our good team on big banks, and we're thrilled to have a first earnings season with the pride of Penn State finance. What's the difference between doing small banks and big banks? A bank's a bank.
A bank is a bank. So all of the time that I've been doing this for a number of years now translates pretty easily. We just got some more data points and some more focus on the big banks, but a lot of it's the same.
I mean, I'm looking at this, Herman, and I got out my HP 12C calculator on my iPhone here just to impress you. Yes, folks, I actually do that. Nerd Patrol. They make $518 million every day for 19 days.
Right.
Do we understand how big JP Morgan is?
I mean, it's got a $1 trillion balance sheet, right? And it's minting money. We talked about this earlier off the air, but 18% return on tangible equity. It should be closer to 19-20% if you X out some of the provisioning related to the Apple Card business. So really strong profitability off of a gigantic balance sheet.
You know, I guess we have a lot of banks out this week, and I think in focus in particular are going to be the credit card businesses, right? Now that Trump wants to cap credit card fees at 10%. I'm just curious, did Diamond say anything about that in this report?
I haven't seen anything, but I'm sure that's going to be one of the key topics on the earnings call.
And there's two calls, right?
Right. There's the media call, and then there's the analyst call.
And then there's the Alexis call after that. She gets a briefing.
Oh, that's for me and Diamond to know.
Right. But the card business is doing really well.
Yeah.
We're not sure how the banks are going to react to this. It's going to require an act of Congress to really get this through. So we think the banks will fight tooth and nail to really preserve their profitability in the card business.
Talk to me about investment banking fees. They unexpectedly fell.
Right.
What's going on there?
They were down a little bit, a touch. They were expecting about 3% growth on a year-over-year basis, and there was a decline. So some softness in investment banking fees. That's not super surprising given the fourth quarter. There's typical seasonality, but really the trading side was the bright spot.
Across America, we look at the big banks. Herman Chan with us from Bloomberg and Intelligence. Just wonderful work across all of banking for the years with BI. We welcome all of you on YouTube. Subscribe to Bloomberg Podcast. Jamie Nyman does, I think. Subscribe to Bloomberg Podcast each and every day. We're building that out. Herman, let's look at the total banks. I'm in the camp. They don't want to admit how large they are. What is your measurement and reality of bank concentration now and bank concentration in 2031?
Right. So the biggest banks will get bigger, right? JP Morgan's been growing. Bank of America's been growing. And what's interesting is some of the larger regionals that I've historically covered, like a PNC, a Fifth Third, those are becoming much bigger, and they're growing both organically and via M&A. So we're going to see these regional bank champions become bigger and bigger over time to really compete with the likes of JP Morgan.
Yeah, but JP Morgan, like off the top of my head, a key bank, a PNC, am I right? They're like 1/7 the size of JP Morgan?
Right.
My major mandate here is the major banks are hiding how successful they are. If you're having a cup of coffee with Senator Warren of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, does their growth, does their profit need to be braked, if you will?
Profit needs to be braked is a tough question, but we're seeing really good competition across the bank. So it's not like banking is a very commoditized business, right? So you're doing a loan, you're taking a deposit, you're doing some investment banking activity, you're doing some trading. A lot of companies can do that. So it's just a matter of scale. And the biggest guys have scale. Do you need to break that? That's hard. That's not something that I think is in the cards.
Looking at the stock here, pre-market up about 1% on JPM. Look, we know Wall Street's all about what have you done for me lately? Yeah, this quarter was great, but that's backward looking. What are they saying about Q1?
Right. So the full year guidance looks intact. So they're talking about net interest income ex markets, $95 billion, costs, in line with what they said at the Goldman conference last quarter. So no changes in terms of the outlook.
Are you going to get an Apple Card?
I'm a Chase Sapphire guy, so
me too.
So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep with that. I like the rewards, and it's easy to use.
They're good. I use green stamps. You don't even know what green stamps are. Herman Chan, thank you so much. With Bloomberg Intelligence. Taking notes on this is Peter Scheer. Just wonderful to start